Hey guys, Admiral Infinity here today with another review. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Kv-5, the premium tank that was sold, I believe, during Christmas time, and they may sell it again. Now, as you guys know, I have reviewed this tank, but when I reviewed it, I didn't think it was a great review, so I'm re-reviewing it. A better review this time, better clips and stuff like that, and I won't be deleting the previous one, but I will be removing it from the playlist. So let's get started with the stats then. Protection wise, it has 1600 hit points, a whole armor of 180 in the front, 150 in the sides, 140 in the rear. Turret, exact same, 180, 150, 140. Maneuverability, it weighs 101.77 tons. Keep in mind that's added with my equipment. It normally weighs just 100, I believe, just barely over. It has an engine power of 1200, speed limit of 40 kilometers, a traverse speed of 18 degrees a second, a turret traverse speed of 21. Its gun has a standard shell damage of 240 to 400, a standard shell penetration of 125 to 209, a rate of fire of 6.5, an aiming time of 2.9 seconds, a dispersion of 0.43, and a view range of 220. Let's talk about this for a second. Overall, the armor is what makes this tank sound really amazing. It has high armor. That's what you guys probably see. The gun, you think, it's not that great. Not high damage. Well, good damage. Low weight, low armor piercing, low time, low aiming time, and low accuracy. Which is true. The gun is not what makes this tank really fun to play in. But its reload time on the gun does help a lot. So let's talk about this for a second. It would be a near impenetrable tank with 180 armor in the front. That's more, I'm pretty sure it's either more or the exact same as the Kv-4. But it's slanted, as you can see, look right here. Slanted, making it way harder to pen. The Kv-4 is flat. But there's a downside. As you can see, this little turret poking here, here, and here are all penetrable weak points by almost any tier. This, what people have named the Astromech, or R2-D2, is the biggest weak point on this tank. You hit it, it does damage. No armor, no nothing. Same with here, 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 and here. But, and it's kind of lame, you know. That what would have been a really OP tank is now rendered useless by these astromechs, or so you would think. It's really one of the funnest tanks to play in, just by using simple methods such as side scraping, driving backwards, and jiggling. And you will see these methods later, and I will explain these methods as they happen. Though I don't use the jiggling method often, because it's been a while since I've played in this tank, and I'm not really, it takes a while to get into this thing, and it's a hard to master tank. I'm going to tell you guys now, if you ever consider getting this tank, if they ever sell it again, I'm going to warn you, it's a hard to master tank. It's not an easy premium tank to use. But once you get the hang of it, you love it. Some people, though, never get the hang of it, so unless you're absolutely sure you want this tank, you get this tank. And I love this tank. It's one of my favorite tanks, as you can tell by its 400k XP on it. It's a really cool tank. But its weak points are very, very defined. You could tell its weak points just by looking at it. But it has extreme advantages. I mean, 140 armor in the back. That's really good. Even though it's flat, it's still 140 armor. Now, let's go to consumables. I always do adrenaline, multi-purpose restoration pack, and repair kit. That's just what I do. And you guys have known from my previous reviews, that's just what I do. But another thing, I would extremely recommend you do this, engine power boost. And you'll know why. I'll explain it in a couple minutes, but you should get an engine boost. I don't have one on mine just because you rely on it, but not as much. Now, ammunition-wise, use AP or APCR. The HE, it's not high damage. It's not good. It's high damage, but only 100 higher, and you're never going to hit that 500 damage. You're better off using AP or APCR. Now, as for equipment, I do a large caliber tank gun rammer because faster reload speed is always good. Same with this. This makes the tank faster, faster reload speed, faster aiming time, more accuracy. And you need a heavy spall liner. And you'll see why. This is what makes the tank amazing. It is the king of ramming. This tank is renowned for ramming. That's why people get this tank. Because it's an amazing kamikaze metal getting ramming tank. And you'll see in these videos, I don't get super amazing rams, but expect future videos where they do happen. Another thing I might recommend, I wouldn't replace heavy spall liner. I would replace the large caliber tank gun rammer because it already has fast enough reload time. So if you want to replace them and make yourself more accurate or more engine durability and repair kits and stuff like that, replace the large caliber tank gun rammer. So let's talk about it. What makes this tank an amazing rammer? First off, it's the third heaviest tank in the game, behind only the Mouse and the E100, and those are enormous tanks. But this thing's huge too. Let's just compare for a second. Let me just take off my filter and put it on tier 10. Let's look at this. Kv-5, T110E5, tier 10 heavy. Huge difference. Kv-5 weighs almost, let me check, twice as much as the T110E5. It's a huge tank. And also, scroll up, sorry. It weighs 100 tons. You hit someone going 20, 30 kilometers at 100 tons, they're dead. But now you're thinking, dude, weighs 100 tons. How can it possibly go 20 or 30? It's probably as slow as a T95. Wrong. It has a horsepower engine. Look at the engine. 1,200 horsepower. That's a lot. That's, I believe, don't correct me, it's about 12 horsepower per ton. That's pretty good for a heavy. Not gonna lie, that's really good for a heavy. And it has a speed limit of 40. And going downhill, you'll go beyond 40. And you hit someone going 40 kilometers with 100 tons of Kv-5, bam, 400, 500 damage just from a ram. That's what makes this tank so amazing. And guess what? You think you're going to take a ton of damage in return? You'll take 80, maybe 50 damage in return from a 500 damage ram. It's so fun. It's hard to use, but it's so fun. But now you're thinking, why would I ever want a premium tank? You see, premium tanks, such as the Kv-5, have a credit modifier, which makes it so, in a battle, say, I'm battling my Pershing, I get 30,000 credits. The Kv-5 would instead get 50 to 60,000 credits, doing the exact same damage as that Pershing, who got 30,000. That's what a credit modifier does. It makes it so you get more credits, you'll gain money always in this thing. Even losses, anything. You probably won't gain money though. I won't promise you'll gain money if you just go AFK. That's not, you shouldn't do that anyway, but you won't gain money if you do that, if that's what you're thinking. Now, I lost my train of thought. It also has a multiplayer modifier. This thing, unless you platoon, will only see Tier 9 games at max. It will never see Tier 10 games unless you platoon with someone. So, yeah, it's pretty good. You don't need to, the biggest concern when people buy this tank is hey, this thing would be totally useless in a Tier 10 game, because 1, Tier 10s can penetrate them in the front, even if they don't hit the astromech. 2, this thing only has 209 penetration. You're not going to penetrate any Tier 10, not even the mediums with that much. But this thing will only see Tier 9 max games, so it's a pretty good tank when it comes to that. But like I said, I am going to show you in this video, unlike most reviews where I show you good videos, good battles, I'm going to show you a bad and a good video. Just to show you, because it is a premium tank, and I feel like I shouldn't be just hey, it's so amazing, buy it, buy it, buy it. Because if you guys don't like it, you'd blame me. So I'm going to show you some bad, strong points and weak points of this thing. But I show the weak points of every tank, but this one is more defined, like I said. So let's get to the videos then. Hey guys, here's the first up video, and this is the one where I don't do as well. This is the one where you're going to see some of the weak points of the Kv-5, what makes it hard to use. I don't do my techniques as well as I should, but I do good damage, and that's what matters. Doing good damage this thing, even on a loss, will make you money, which is an amazing thing. I love the credit modifier. If you don't like the tank and you buy it, I would keep it just for the credit modifier. It doesn't matter if you don't do well your games. As long as you try your best, you'll make money. You know, and people who don't want to just buy premium accounts over and over and over to make money. A premium tank is just a way to solve your credits. Either that or get, I don't know, farm on tier 6. Because that's a good tier 6 is a good tier to farm money on and stuff like that. But I love the Kv-5. It's a really fun tank. Let's just get to the battle then and commentate over it. So, as I notice that we haven't met any opposition, so I'm warning the JP Panther and E50 at the corner right here that they are going to be attacked by pretty much everyone on the enemy team. But I come up with a nasty surprise. So we see a T-54, and that already confirms my suspicions. Or do they? Boom. Carnivon. Right there. Canaveron, whatever you want to call this thing. Sitting right there. Perfect spot. That guy had good placement. It was harder for me to penetrate him because I could only see the top half of his armor and his turret. But then he drove down, and he was getting penetrated by, I believe, one of our tier 9s. But as you can see, I took an easy shot right there. He hit me, did some damage. And then he started shooting 3 or 4 shots right after, and they all ricocheted. He was aiming for the astromech, but because I was moving, if you don't hit the astromech right on target, it will not penetrate. So there is advantages of the astromech. But he's done, and that's it. But here's where the no penetration just really just doesn't come in handy. That T-28 can't even pen. Not unless I get a really lucky shot and hit him straight on that little commander's hatch. But with .43 accuracy, that's not happening. So I decided to go for the T-54. I really wanted to save this Tiger 2, but he just parked right in front of me. So I couldn't go out there and confront the T-54, and he just sat there. He didn't move at all. So I don't know what he was doing. I think he might have just given up, but here I go in on this T-54. He turns aside to me. He should have just stayed with his front facing forward. He could have had me. He probably doesn't realize this might have been his first time seeing a Kv-5. He probably didn't realize that I can't penetrate him in the front, which is sad. So I know that he's going to sit there now, so I'm going to go in and charge him. You know, do what a Kv-5 does best. Get up close and personal. But I run into a problem. First off, you know, I ricochet. I can't pen this guy right here. And then I can't hit him. I can't hit his bottom part accurately. I can only hit the top of his turret. Because the Kv-5's turret is so tall, you can't... if there's a small enough tank, you won't be able to shoot it except for in the turret, and maybe not even then. But with my friend... platoon mate I was platooning with in the Super Pershing, gave me in hand and finished him off for me. And now we're going to be trying to go, and you see the score. It's 4-3. It's not that bad, but my friend is on 200 health. The ST1 is getting 3v1s, and I made a mistake. I should have gone and helped the ST1. Instead, I worried about a Pershing for too long. By the time I realized I should go for those guys, the ST1 was dead. So there was nothing I could do. As you see, here I come. Oh, too little, too late. Good try, though. I do manage to get a shot off on the SU. To be honest, I could have pulled this off. I could have won, but I made a couple mistakes, and so, yeah, that was my first mistake. The T-54 would be dead if I hadn't missed that shot. But, you know, whatever. Not much you could do about it at this point. This gun, as you're seeing, is not bad. You hit people in the right spot, it does good damage. But the armor of this thing is what's it's really renowned for. This T-54, he probably could have killed me earlier, but he was messing up a little bit. Look at that. He barely scraped my side, 83 damage, and I took none. I about kill him. I'm really annoyed that I didn't. But, see, here's problem one. Boom, completely surrounded. Nothing I can do because my turret turns too slow. And I'm out already. Completely surrounded, easily flanked, just got crushed. They could all shoot me in the astromech and easily penetrate and shoot my turret. It was a pretty easy match for them to win. Those are the bad points of the Kv-5. But I do 3,000. Oh, let's pull that back a little bit. Sorry. Pause. Nope. Nope. Pause. 52,000 credits. 3,000 damage on a loss. I made only 31,000, but that's a really good game. I mean, how many of you can say you made 31,000 in your tier 8 non-premium tank in a loss? That's what I love about premium tanks. Some of them may have huge weak points, but you'll still make money on losses, so you don't have to freak out, oh no, I lost money. 31,000 credits from a loss. If you were ever going to get the Kv-5 for any reason, it would be, I would get it for a credit modifier. So let's go on to the next video where I consider it a good game. So let's get to it. Okay, here we go. Here is the third and final video of this review, and I'm sorry if this review was a little long. I took a little long in my explanation of this tank, but just because there is a lot to explain about this tank, you know? So let's get into this. I think I do pretty well in this game. I'm pretty happy with the results. I don't get off to a too good start, but you know what? I still got the game. I still did well in the end. And keep in mind, it has been a while since I used the Kv-5. I used to do a lot better in this thing, but it's been a long time since I've used it, just because I've had premium account running, so I've had no need to use it. And I've been working on other tanks, as you'll see in the next reviews when I get these things maxed out. The reason I'm not showing you guys stock tank reviews, because stock tanks are hard to use. It's not easy using a stock Conqueror, stock Leopard, or a stock T95 or stock M46 Patton. So I like to max them out so you see what they look like when you got their end result. That's what I like to do. But let's get back to this. First off, Kv-3 and an SU-152. Get a shot off him. Kv-3 penetrates me right in the turret, right here. It's annoying that a little tier 7 penetrated me there, but it happens. But the SU-152 and the M4A3 E2, I believe, ricocheted. And I ricocheted. But notice how just me moving back and forth and side-scraping around this building makes it so, 1, no access to my astromechs, and 2, the weak point he does have access to, the top turret, I'm moving back and forth, so he can't hit it as easily. But back to the battle. Boom, M4A3E2 down. Not by me, though. The IS got the kill. And at this point, I realized the IS does not have the 500 damage, 300-500 damage gun. He has the quick shooting barrel that does, I believe, 120 to 200. But we need to take this SU-152 out first. So, I know this doesn't seem so awe and amazing since we just beat up a bunch of tier 7s and tier 6. Yeah, that was my amazing Russian accuracy at work. And boom. And boom. And sorry to I believe the JP Panther 2. I wasn't meaning to kill steal. I was just, playing the game, dude. I wasn't kill stealing. I just shot right after you shot. I wasn't waiting for you to shoot to steal the kill. So sorry, dude. Not trying to do that. As you'll see, he's not happy about that. But yeah, I'm sorry, dude. Didn't mean to do that. I was just, shooting at the exact same time you shot. You just shot a little before me. Wasn't kill stealing. But let's take a look at the scores. 4 to... What? 2. Well, now I'm confused. There's 3 enemy tanks, not 2. Oh, sorry. They killed 2 of us. Okay. Yeah, we're up. We have 5 tanks. They have 3 tanks. Boom. Cheeky shot on the T20, and not a bad ram. Only 147, but that wasn't very fast. And once again, I'm not trying to kill steal. You know, I ricocheted. I wasn't doing that on purpose. And I get a good ram on this IS-6. It wasn't a 300, but it was a good one. Going downhill this thing and you get a ram, ridiculous. And I do not know how I penetrated that IS-6 right there. Like, actually though, I should not have penned. As you see, it was all red. 277. I didn't take very much damage at all. If you've been keeping track of the score, so far I've gotten 4 kills. And let's make that 5. Boom. 5 kills in the Kv-5. Yeah. Let's look at the credits for this, shall we? Takes a second for the match to end, as always. And I'm going to pause around the credits. Boom. 58,000 also. Notice I was near the same as the loss. Because I did make 47,000. I don't know. I made 47,000 because my tank wasn't destroyed. And you know, I did get 5 kills. I did get a little more money this time. But notice how I did do less damage than the last game. Because of that, because damage is what really gets you the credits. The more damage you do, the more credits you get. Even on a loss, I still made 31,000 credits just because I did 3,000 damage. So if your team sucks and you're really mad about it, do as much damage as you can in a premium vehicle. You'll still make credits. And you know, that's what you're here for. You're not here to make XP because you can't research anything. Unless you're planning on converting free XP. But Kv-2, really good tank. Top honors, first mastery badge, 1200 base experience. Good game, good game. That's what this Kv-5 looks like. And I will be demonstrating in future videos more techniques. Because I showed off side scraping, a little bit of jiggling, but I never did use the driving backwards technique. And you guys will see those in later videos. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this video and be prepared for another review and maybe a surprise video, a series I've decided to come up with. Because you know, can't review tanks forever. So I'll see you guys later then.